What aura itself is, bro, is somebody doing some phenomenal shit in front of you, right? But let's say you only seen them do a few different things, but those few different things were fantastic. Let's say, you saw a nigga do a through the legs dunk in the middle of the basketball game, and he just walked off, put some Yeezy slides on, a chain, the Chrome Hearts hat, and just walked straight out the gym. You could be like, yo, who the fuck is that nigga? Is that nigga in the league? He's gonna have a league-bound aura because you were able to project this ideal which matched the fantastic moment that you just seen that person in. Let's say you see a girl who might look like a model, hit a model strut in front of you, Louis Vuitton bag, signaling that she's somebody who has a lot of money, walks off. You're gonna project the ideal of her being like, is that a model? Who the fuck is this? That person is gonna have model aura. Now, what exactly is happening from a psychological standpoint? You saw a fragment of a moment. You saw a simple moment, right? But that simple moment showed this person doing some fantastic shit. So what exuded from that person was uncertainty, but positive uncertainty. All you saw them do was positive shit. So in order to complete that positive narrative, due to this cognitive tendency that humans have called closure, we needed to close the narrative. Therefore, what we projected onto these two people were phenomenal things. So these people are seen as absolutely fantastic, except for the fact that this is the case. Once you leave somebody with a degree of uncertainty after only seeing positives from you, you don't know how deep that uncertainty could go. That uncertainty can go anywhere between you being a god in their head to being something fantastic. It's fantastic to godhood. It's why that nigga Kim Jong-un always tells people to lie about him, and he only allows his citizens to see him every so often. He says, I never once peed in my life. I was born from a god. Some of them citizens start believing it due to the fact that they have limited access to this individual, and once they see this individual, he's coupled with the narrative of him being some damn god. Simultaneously, they've only ever seen him do a few things, and he probably looked absolutely fantastic from their point of view because they were brought up to believe that this nigga was fantastic. So he had aura. Aura is basically somebody doing something special in front of you, and in order for you to complete the narrative, you projected a certain ideal onto this individual, and the ideal itself is fused in with uncertainty because you don't know everything about that individual. So the ideal mixed with the positive thing that you've seen them do, mixed with uncertainty, caused them to have more aura. It's why Duke Dennis, I hate talking about this goofy shit. I'm not really into this shit, but this is just a reference that y'all niggas understand. I don't like this level of dick sucking, but y'all were able to dick suck that nigga because y'all seen him do a few positive things. Y'all saw this nigga doing some crazy dunks, getting some bitches, all this other shit, and y'all derived that this nigga must be him, and y'all projected an ideal onto him, and that ideal meant that he just can't lose to nobody, and he's just Mr. Aura. But as time continued, and if let's say he was just a stream every single day, let's say he played basketball every single day, and he accumulated a whole bunch of losses, this nigga is going to get the aura ick. His aura is going to decline because his uncertainty is declining, and his actions isn't matching up to the positive that he portrayed in those few moments that you've seen of him. Therefore, you begin to see him look kind of worse. It's the reason why oversaturation is a thing. You don't want to oversaturate something because as it gets less scarce, and if that thing doesn't match the ideal, which it rarely ever does, that thing is going to have a less aura naturally. The only people who have been able to just continuously just keep their aura is somebody like Ye, because he just keeps everybody guessing every single time. You just never know what this nigga's thinking. This is why streaming might not be good for every artist, because once you see too much of an artist, you might be like a few years back, bro, yo, we thought Cardi was a vampire. Like, it's some niggas out there that thought Cardi, like, if you just caught him in a room, he might be floating. We never saw that nigga in the sun. He might bite you in the neck. You just thought like he was just some damn vampire. He was just auraed up, pause. But Cardi's aura came from him being very meticulous with how he exuded himself in the moments that he was seen. He understood that his perception was everything, so he only allowed himself to be seen in certain moments, and when he was seen, he made sure that this nigga had the swag. He made sure that he was walking a certain way, talking a certain way. He made sure that you only ever seen positive things out of him so that you were able to project this fucking ideal to complete the narrative of him being absolutely fantastic. Had he had a bunch of interviews every single week, let's say this nigga had his own weekly podcast, let's say you found out somebody else was writing the songs, let's say you just see him in the studio just stealing niggas flows, you're then gonna get like aura ick from this nigga. You're gonna be like, ah, he's not the person that we thought he was. Because most humans are never going to be the people that you think that they were, which is why most of them are always meticulous with how they portray themselves in the moments that they were perceived. My nigga Michael Jackson only spoke in one voice. He's like, bro, Michael Jackson is black. That nigga talks like me probably, bro. But he knew exactly what he was doing. He talked in he talked in that little voice, and he made sure that whenever you saw him, he had the swag. He was screaming out loud. You never saw him with any girls, any dudes. You never saw him doing nothing except for keeping that narrative that he had once we saw him. So once you see the nigga, you project a certain idea which matched what you seen, and his aura is just going to be absolutely insane. So once you see the nigga in concert, you might faint. You might be, oh, my. I told you, once you're able to be shrewd in uncertainty, but positive uncertainty, you can either be seen as a fucking deity or be seen as somebody that's fantastic. Positive uncertainty is one of the best tools that humans have ever used because they can cause others to perceive them and however they want to be perceived. Now, negative uncertainty will get you shot. This is why you don't want to signal negative stereotypes. Let's say, well, I'm just walking around at nighttime writing in the wrong neighborhood at the wrong time. Straight do-rag, shiestied up, pants sag to the meat showing, all white forces, know, all black forces, nigga. Blood on my face. About to be like, bro, call the police, because I'm shooting in what? Negative uncertainty with a negative stereotype. Negative uncertainty, they don't know what I'm gonna do. I can either kill them, I can either rob them, I can do a whole bunch of different shit. So when they see me, they're gonna project the worst possible ideal onto me in order to complete the narrative, in order to what? Protect themselves, because this is where this tendency came from in the first place, and the reason why it's there in the first place. This is why you don't want to signal the wrong thing to the wrong kind of people. You need to know who's going to fucking see you, and use the world's assumption as a canvas, and the way you exude yourself is your own art. You can be perceived in any way that you want. You just got to understand how people are going to see you based on the things that you're signaling. This is why code switching is a thing, because they understand that certain narratives are going to be derived from how you walk, talk, speak, because of assumptions, and because we have this natural tendency to derive narratives off fragments of information. This is a natural human tendency. You can get mad at it all you fucking want, or you can accept it for what it is and win in the context of the world that you're living in. You can either win the game and accept the rules and attempt to use the rules in your own favor by sitting outside of it, metacognition, or you can be just somebody living under the rules and in the parameters of the game saying, I wish the game was different. Fuck the game. The game is stupid. The game shouldn't be like this. No, the game sucks. No, I hate this game. No. You're only going to ever be at the will as somebody else's fucking boot, stepping on you, because the rules of the game are natural and they're going to continuously exist. You're not going to change the rules, but what you can change is how you live within the parameters of the game, and even get outside the game once you learn how to use the game to your own favor.